drop a comment whenever you have a request, or make a comment, post our live. Okay. Let's just set up our tools so we can get started. Okay, let me know if the audio is not good. Basag. Okay. Testing. Testing. Okay, so just fixing my microphone. 1 second, guys. Okay. Well, if there are no requests yet, I can start with the top trades that happened today. Okay. So let's begin. For BDO, so you have your resistance right at this area. I would have to say it is still respecting your MA20 line, acting as a resistance. So just be extra careful, as you might have some more movements move downwards. Look at that. So I feel that you can still haggle at a much lower price if you're really interested to get in BDO. Tech had a really good jump. So this one had a had a minor retracement, and I would have to say that this will potentially trigger some more movements on the upside. Okay, so this is really I would have to say we are still in a very good position for tech. The risk to reward ratio is really promising. Much lower risk against the potential income or profit that you can get in this position. Okay. Just in case this stock retraces and probably reach around this area, I would have to say I would still be in a healthy price. Let's look at Ali. Ali is currently, well, this is a double bottom for Ali right here in this area, and try to observe what happened when it touched the same area twice. Your RSI is a little bit higher than the previous low. See that? First one over here, and then the second one over here, and then your RSI is looking healthier than the previous point or previous low. So that means I would have to say that just in the event it will overshoot to the below the yellow line we plotted, or the support area we plotted, it will not go any deeper than that. And next possible move would be sideways. Then you will see some more bullish movements in the coming days as it bounces. For BPI, You are currently this stock has created a support at this area. This over here. Yes, that area is the support. So I would have to say, just in case it will just go sideways over here, anywhere from where it is at right now to the support we plotted would be a healthy entry price. So watch out and probably start accumulating volume because I think this is already at a good position. I would have to say it managed to dip and BPI being BPI, a very established bank here in the Philippines. I would have to say nothing to be scared of. As for SMPH, I would have to say, yeah, I still see the yellow line here being the next possible support. So we might trigger some more movements on the bearish side, meaning downwards. And let us still try to observe what happens around the 39.55 and see if it will create a stabilization. Okay. Otherwise, if it breaks that, then chances are you might have some more movements downward. Considering the state of SMPH, it has already uh, increased significantly in the price. So this stock will most likely rest for a while before it bounces upward. JFC, I would have to say, wait for a much cheaper price. It is currently triggering your lower Bollinger Band over here. It ended right outside of the Bollinger Band, so I would have to say, chances are it will continue to dip. And when you reach a possible area, a concrete sign that it is already bouncing, that's the time we enter. Okay, so first area to focus and monitor would be around 150, 185.93 or 186. That could be an area of focus. Hopefully, we see some sideways or consolidation happening in that area because that would be a good sign. Any moment after that would mean a possible bounce. Tal is also going to dip based on how it looks like, and let's see what happens when, let's say, this MA20 line. All right, so wherever the MA20 line is at when that day comes, I think the next possible area where uh, it will challenge would be your MA20 level. Okay, so first, let's see if by that time your MA20 line is already at this level, at the yellow line. But just monitor that. MA20s are always strong support or resistance. Wherever the candlestick is at the moment, then that determines whether if it's support or a resistance. And at the moment, we're above the MA20 line, so when it dips, that will become a, hold on, a support. Okay, MWC. Let's just check first because the bit rate, what is that? That means maybe we have to increase the bit rate. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Um, for MWC, I would have to say MWC might dip, and this is not a good sign because Right over here, it created a resistance. So watch and monitor whether it will break your MA20 line and continue to dip. Okay, but overall, I see that yes, we've seen weakness and it might continue to go down. ICT ICT so far is still respecting your MA20, and it bounced when it reached your MA20 level. So I will see some more movements on the upside, but I don't really feel that it will swing higher than what we have here. Okay, so this is the resistance that I see at the moment. And I feel that the moment this reach your resistance area, it will, decline because your RSI is already giving me advanced signals that the momentum is starting to slow down. So, well, it can probably go up some more, but the farthest it can go would be your 135 level. Globe is also sitting at the resistance area, and for me this is a bearish candlestick. See that going while the price is moving on the upside, upward movement over here. Your RSI also is showing some weakness, so chances are uh, it will also give us some correction or some retracement. So those two terms, when you hear that, they mean the same. A correction, retracement, a dip, those things. That means it will go down. And as you notice as well, your volume has also started to decline. So I would have to say just be extra careful because let's put it this way. If you want to get in this stock, you will be able to haggle at a much cheaper price if you are still planning to. Okay, but for long-term investors, normally they don't really mind. Rather, when it dips, they add more volume. MPI, So it dipped, yeah, but I would have to watch and see what it gives when you have your MA20 line. Okay, when it touches your MA20 level, let us see if it dips and move on the upside. Okay, so would have to say, yeah, still at a promising level. Sorry about that, guys. So many dogs. Okay. Yeah, 342 level would be the possible area of bounce for MPI. SM. SM. Also starting to go bearish, meaning we failed to bounce at the MA20 line and we crossed and ended the price much lower than that. So this is going to trigger some more bearish movement in the coming days. ISM. ISM also is retracing, and watch out around 359, and let's monitor whether this stock continues to break that line. It's not really going to be a good story when that happens. Otherwise, the reason why we plotted a support in that area is because for several days this area here created a support. Price stopped at the same area, and also over here that used to be a resistance. This one too, even though it's really not touching the exact line, but it's really close to it, so I would still consider that that's still an area. So yes, observe 359. Well, MBT did not give us any significant change in price, but with that, I would have to say, looks like this stock has already bounced, uh, has given us a a promising movement right now. Uh, if you want to get in, that would be the best area to really watch out for is where you have the yellow line over here, which is around 64, right? 64.44 there. Okay, so uh, you dipped over here, and then the next dip is much higher than the previous one. So yes, okay, looking healthy. There's a big chance that it'll continue to move up. Meg. Okay, for Meg, I would have to say I feel that Meg will continue to dip, and I would suggest we also monitor the 4.18 level. Okay, 4.18 level. So, um, in case it bounces, let's first identify and really confirm if there's a bounce. That means you have to wait for a stock for the price to start around 4.18, and then most of the action has to uh, happen above that line, because if not, then you will have more bearish movements. So the goal is for this stock price not to break the yellow line. But look at that. Overall, we're just really moving at the bottom part. So the bottom part of the spectrum. So meaning there's really more. There are chances that it will move on the upside versus some more movements downwards. Okay. Hi. Good evening. Hi, Raylet and Brian. Thank you for joining me. Okay. I wonder if you were able to hear the first parts. But anyways, thank you for joining me. So what I did earlier, I just click all stocks and sorted them from the highest to the lowest. I started discussing these stocks, and I am now at Meg. Okay, so I hope you were able to hear that. Otherwise, I will just continue. If not, just drop a comment. I can repeat any of those that I have requested. Sorry, it's really my bad because I'm not very consistent, Raylet, in the time that I do my live. I had 3 business reviews yesterday for the 3 different regions that I cover. So that means I went home late and I just slept. I missed that. Okay, but don't worry. Let's talk about Meg for you. Well, Meg. Okay, so I was saying earlier that really the potential of Meg is really it's so promising. We're moving right now. First hint is we're now moving above the MA20 line, so that's a good sign. Don't expect that it will just really go all the way up. There will be some times when um this stock will rest, and this is one of those days. I would have to say the price or the stock might even give us a chance at the MA20 level before it continues to move up. So it might touch that and continue to go up like that. Okay, so if you are invested in Mag, I would have to say the market has given you a chance for this to um, reach at a much cheaper price. Okay? Late na din ako. Yes, time is my problem. Yeah, that's why. So, what's important, guys, is that you're already subscribed, I assume, right? Whether I have someone listening to me, whether it's just one or two persons in the live when I go, when I stream, I don't really mind. What's important is we have a reference. You can always go back to my videos anytime, and I even recommend that right after the market closes, go back to the video again and watch the video, so we can really cross-reference whether our insights before the market open is really the right action that happened the entire market day, and then see if they're correct or not. Okay, so let me just accommodate your request. Well, Dawn will be shall ISM JFC please. Okay, so I can go back and check that out for you. Okay, Miss JD, thank you. Yes, done subscribing. Very good. So ISM. So this is for Dawn. So we mentioned earlier, Dawn, that this stock has rested, and like Meg, I would have to say that there's a big potential for this stock to move on the upside because we are now moving above the MA20 line. And looks like though this stock might even give us a chance again at the MA20 level, or very near your MA20 level, which is around 3.59 or 4, or yeah, 3.59 level. Reason being is we've seen this stock consolidate at the area where we have plotted the yellow line for several days. So that created a support. At the same time, if you backtrack or you back test at what point you have areas here that were your resistance. Okay, so always remember that when you cross your resistance and you start moving above that, and when it revisits that area, your previous resistance will now create a support, which is exactly what happened in this situation. See that? So I would have to say you monitor 3.59. And the next one is JFC. JFC is also resting. JFC, I would have to say, if you have a buying power, reserve that for now. JFC triggered your lower Bollinger Band over here, so that means you might have some more movements uh, downward. Okay, downward movement might continue to happen, and then 185.93 would be the next possible area of bounce. Okay, so wait until you see a green candlestick stabilizing at the area before you enter. Okay. Okay. Rayolet. Okay, Miss JD. Thank you. Done subscribing. Yes. Yes. I just go back to your videos if my network does not cooperate. Yeah, but that's the beauty of YouTube. We can go back and yeah, learn from previous videos. So nothing to worry if you're not able to hear everything exactly real time during the live session. Anyway, this is recorded. All right, so I am glad I was able to answer your questions, Rayolette, and who else? Dawn, and yeah, Reggie Cabrera. Good evening, Miss JD. Hi, Reggie. Welcome to our live stream. I review stocks here. Do you have any requests? Let me, while waiting, I can continue. So we stopped at Meg and AEV. Let's check out AEV. Okay, AEV, I would have to say AEV is currently sitting at a resistance area. Now, you we have to really monitor this because while it's true that it's good that we're now really above the MA20 line, and that's a good sign. What we need is a volume. If it starts around 53 pesos and then most of the action happens above that yellow line tomorrow, then chances are you have a brand new wave, and that can also happen, right? So at the same time, I feel good with this stock right now because you also have foreign buying. Okay, but yeah, there's foreign buying happening, although really not much of a volume yet. So, still, I would like us to closely monitor this. Some people will have, they would wait for a real one whole candlestick to break out of the resistance that we have created here before they enter, and that determines a brand new wave. If most of the action happens below the yellow line, then, you know, chances are you'll have more dips in the coming days. AP and MRC. Okay, and that is for Reggie. AP, yeah, you had a lower low. See that? This is your first low. When it dipped, it crossed that. So I would have to say, hmm, this one. Okay, I feel that we'll have really more movements in a downward direction in the coming days. So if you can choose a different stock, I'd rather choose a different stock for now. I feel like there's more bearish sentiment. And MRC, I think MRC is, yeah. Oh no, not a good candlestick today. We have started to climb for the past 4 days, but yeah, like the other stocks, this stock will most likely rest for a while, and then before it continues to go up. Okay, so it might even touch the 0.2165 level. And that is for Reggie. I hope I was able to make some clarifications for you tonight. Hi. Okay, Brian, Miss JD, Green, ACEX, AXLM, and Nickel. Okay, let's do that. Green, green. Okay, this is a doji. Doji over here. So that means, so I am not sure I plotted some of these lines previously. So we don't confuse everyone. Let's hide it. Okay. So this over here, look at that. This has been on a decline and then started to move above the MA20 level. So that's also another good remark. I would have to say this stock will just rest. Okay. People who may have entered here might start to take profit, and then it will trigger a retracement. And then I would like us to really check out 1.99, okay, around that area, because I feel that that price will be revisited. ACEX. Okay, promising candlestick today. It did not exactly touch your MA20 line, but you are very near. Therefore, I'd have to say this stock might continue to respect your MA20 level, and you'll see some more movements um, on the upside in the coming days. Okay, so that's what we feel and see. Sure. The next one is AXLM. AXLM. Not a good sign. And as we see, it breaks your MA20 line. And I would have to say if it dips, it will not be that far because at one point you already reached your bottom, and the farthest it can go here is a double bottom. Okay, so let's see. From here to here would be yeah, that's the area. From 2.45 to 2.52, I would consider these areas would as a support level. So if it continues to go down, 2.45 is the next area to monitor. Normally, it goes double bottom the second time it touches that, and if the price in RSI is giving you something like this, so let's say it reached this level and then you have something like that, then that's a good sign. Okay, so let us say this one continues to go up to this level. Let's say, because it will dip, right? So it might continue to go down like that. And if you have something like this, then chances are your next move would be on the upside. Nickel. Okay, nickel here is also showing us a really good pattern. Reason being is that after it bounced yesterday, there was a continuous movement on the upside in today's market, more movements going up. And I would have to say it will continue to move up, and the next resistance that I will check and would like you all to monitor would be the 3.52 level, as it might first challenge that before it continues to go up. Okay, now the next one would be you're welcome, Reggie. Rail, let's check out your PXP. PXP, trying to bounce. Looks like it, yeah. It looks like it. Yes, there you go. What is this? Let me remove this. Okay, so this is a possible area of bounce. First point here. It consolidated in that area. It used to be a support here. I mean, a resistance. Used to be a resistance over here. Another resistance over here. And then when we manage to cross that line, it will revisit that, and then it will potentially create a support in this level. All right, Ali. Excuse me, Ali. I would have to say it has reached a double bottom, um, and comparing it with how your RSI moved, RSI is much higher than the previous point. Therefore, the next possible move would be on the upside. Now, my take on this is that wait for a candlestick to be formed before you enter. Okay, just to be sure. MBT also at 64.44 level. That's the area that I want us to monitor. That being a support. Now, okay, now is also resting. Okay, still checking, one moment. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, yes, it will respect, potentially it will first challenge your MA20 line. I looked back and saw this price consolidating in this area. Okay, so check out 2.48. Okay, that's the area to closely monitor. It might create a stabilization or a support in that level. Fruit. Fruit is so far creating a resistance in the area where it is at. I think this is already considered as a consolidation in this level. It's like, the price is trying its best to move forward. It's just that it's like a tug of war at that area right now. It's like your ceiling. So I have a feeling that, you know, some people will be very impatient. They will sell their position, they will sell, and then it will rest. First area is, as always, I would have to say, let's go back to the MA20 level. It might create an area of support in that price 1.25. Okay. Um, Brian, you are welcome. Raji, JGS, and MBT. I hope you were able to hear my MBT, but let me check JGS. Okay, not a good sign for JGS. And besides, you have been moving on the upside for almost half a year in 2019, and now this stock is going to potentially rest. And more people are dropping their, position, because as the price was moving down over here, its volume is increasing. So I think that more and more will sell. And let's see, Meralco. Meralco is just stabilizing. And if you want to test this out, I suggest around 289.93 level. There you go. More and more people are joining. Thank you, Lila Robert, SMPH. Good evening, Miss JD. Hello, Paul, East West, and Raylet said, thank you, Paul. You're welcome. Okay, so let me check out SMPH for Lila. So I reviewed this earlier. I would have to say that this stock will potentially go down further, and the yellow line I created will act as a support. Reason being is we found a resistance happening in this area and this area, okay, for several days here as well. So when it touched this area, there was a rejection, or I mean a bounce, but it did not really sustain, so it might revisit that line again, 39.55. Hopefully it does not break that anymore, and then we have some more movements on the upside. But again, no one can predict how the market really will perform on the day, even though you already have some signals based on your indicators. Okay, so just be 2 steps ahead. Know what to do, have a game plan when the movement of the stock goes the other way around. Okay, so let's just be prepared and observe your stop loss levels. East West. East West, okay, nice. It finally crossed your MA20 line. I would have to say this is a promising move for East West, and I feel that we'll have some more movements on the upside in the coming days. Okay, good job, East West. What else? What about B Core? Okay, B Core is so far stabilizing one more time in this area. Hopefully it does not break that anymore, because for several days it has already touched that level. So I feel that it will create a support in this level and continue to move up. Overall, look at that. You're still at a healthy level. Now, again, this is just an analysis based on the candlesticks and indicators that I am using. Go ahead and check out the news, the plans of this company before you engage in it. I know the revenue or their financial health right now is, there you go, more on a negative, so not a good sign. So, but then again, some people, because of our volume here in the Philippine market, it's really really slim. You will notice, even though a stock is really performing negatively or poorly, stock prices still shoot up because with just, let's say, you have 5 to 10 million in your pocket, you might be able to move the price significantly, and then that will create the interest, in small time retailers like us with very very small capital. So those people with deep pockets, they put an amount, or they buy a lot of shares, and then it moves the price. And then when those people join, then chances are they sell their position, and those people who bought while the price was really up here, they're stuck. I bet there are a lot of you guys who may have entered here but are not yet free. You have not sold your position yet, because this is already too much of a loss to really let go. Almost at a 75% dip. So that is why it is critical that if your objective is really to just trade, know when to drop the ball before you even enter. What's a tolerable loss you can take? Because if you're not able to watch the market and you are on a negative up to, let's say, 74%, 40%, I'd say just let it stay there. Wait for the right timing. Okay, so this brings us to my next point, which is, from the very beginning, only use the money that you are not going to need anytime soon. The amount that you're willing to forget, because things like this can happen in the stock market. I would like to go back to some more requests from Reggie, AGI, and ICT. Okay, AGI over here might stabilize. Well, in the area where it is at right now is actually, already a support level. So I might see, very obvious on how the Bollinger Band is illustrated here. It's moving sideways. So 11.02 would be, or 11 would be your ideal support level. But overall, look at that. You're at a very cheap level for AGI. ICT. ICT, yeah, I was able to review this. Well, it respected your MA20 line, but take a look at this. You already have reached your resistance over here, and that is a resistance because each time the price hits that level, it goes down, and several times now, one, two, three, in fact. But look at how your RSI is moving. It's now showing as bearish signals. One, two, three. It's dipping. So if it goes up over here, I feel that the farthest so far that it can potentially go and challenge would be your resistance, and then it will dip again. All right. Is that it for tonight? Okay. Any other requests that you would like me to review? I think I have reviewed a lot when we started. We only had a few viewers. I also repeated some of those for you guys. So just in case, well, I can wait for a few more minutes, and just in case you don't have any request, just feel free to go back to this video again tomorrow. and see if our insights are correct. Apply those in your trades. Okay, so these are just pointers based on the indicators that I use. Okay, my indicators are Bollinger Band and RSI. You're welcome, Reggie. So your Bollinger Band, my Bollinger Band is just the default settings where at the center is your moving average. Okay, so this is your the blue line over here. That's your moving average. So just you know, I just stick to that because it looks neat. It's very simple, and repetition is key. I've been doing live stream since I think June of last year, and it's really helping me, guys. Trust me. When you expose yourself to something every single day, it creates that really seamless transition in your brain, and you will be able to understand charts in a snap. Okay, so I hope you're also doing that. If you really want to be successful and you are serious about the stock market, right? You're welcome, Dawn. So just hang in there. We can do this, right? And I hope you can also subscribe to our channel. We are Miss JD. Just hit that subscribe down below, and you can also drop a comment and click the like. And also, please follow us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Invest in the Stock Market, and we are also in Instagrams, Miss JD. Okay? In the meantime, you guys rest, good night, and you always take care. Okay? Bye bye for now.